Do you automatically refrigerate all your groceries, assuming it's the safest way to keep everything fresh? You might be surprised to discover that some everyday foods actually turn toxic when stored in the fridge. Leading urologists, nutritionists, and neurologists caution that chilling certain common foods can release harmful compounds tied to cancer, dementia, and severe digestive issues. In this video, we're revealing 5 foods you should never refrigerate, and the science behind why. These are items most households store incorrectly, unaware of the hidden risks. When refrigerated, their chemical structure shifts, producing dangerous toxins or breaking down essential nutrients your brain and body rely on. Stay with us until the end, because the last food on this list is something nearly everyone keeps in their fridge, yet research links it to brain inflammation and memory loss over time. By learning the right way to store your food, you'll not only safeguard your health but also preserve the vital nutrients that keep your body strong, your mind sharp, and your energy levels high. Let's dive in. First up, potatoes. Most people store potatoes in the fridge, believing it extends their freshness, but food safety experts and nutritionists warn that cold temperatures trigger a dangerous reaction inside the potato, converting its natural starch into sugar. When these sugars are exposed to high heat during cooking, whether frying, baking, or roasting, they combine with amino acids to form acrylamide, a compound associated with cancer and nerve damage. Acrylamide has no smell or taste, so you won't detect it, yet it silently accumulates in your system over time. Studies show that frequent exposure, particularly in older adults, raises the risk of cognitive decline and may even contribute to dementia by damaging brain nerve cells. In other words, something as simple as how you store potatoes could be slowly harming your body in ways you won't notice for years. Potatoes thrive in a cool, dark, and dry environment, not a cold one. The best storage spots are a pantry, basement shelf, or a paper bag in a cabinet, away from sunlight. The temperature should be moderate, never freezing. When stored correctly, potatoes remain firm and nutrient-rich, without developing the harmful sugars that cause problems later. Refrigerated potatoes also disrupt digestion. As starch converts to sugar, it alters how your body processes it, leading to blood sugar spikes, a serious concern for those managing diabetes or insulin resistance. Keeping them out of the fridge protects not just your brain but also your blood health and energy balance. If your potatoes have sprouted or developed green patches, that's a warning sign. These indicate the presence of solanine, a toxic compound that can cause nausea and, in severe cases, neurological symptoms. The fridge speeds up this process by stressing the potato. Always inspect your potatoes regularly, discard any that are soft or green, and buy smaller quantities to ensure freshness. A small change, storing potatoes in a dark cabinet instead of the fridge, can significantly reduce your exposure to carcinogens and help your body function more efficiently. Think of it as a quiet act of self-care, something simple yet powerful in keeping you healthier and more vibrant with every meal. Next, onions. Many people immediately refrigerate onions, assuming the cold will prolong their shelf life, but storing them this way can actually make them toxic over time. Onions naturally absorb moisture and bacteria from the air, and in the fridge's damp environment, they break down faster. This process generates sulfur compounds that not only alter their flavor but can also irritate your stomach and, according to recent research, contribute to chronic inflammation, a root cause of diseases like cancer and dementia. When onions absorb excess moisture, their texture becomes soft and watery. As the layers decay, they produce mold spores and harmful microorganisms that often go unnoticed. These compounds don't just spoil the onion, they release gases that can contaminate other foods nearby. That's why a single improperly stored onion can affect everything else in your fridge. Cold temperatures also destroy the natural antioxidants in onions, particularly quercetin, which helps shield the brain from oxidative stress and supports memory. Refrigeration causes onion cell walls to break down, leading to nutrient oxidation and loss of potency. In short, refrigerating onions ruins their taste, freshness, and strips them of the very compounds that combat disease and aging. The best way to store onions is in a cool, dry place with good airflow. A mesh bag, paper sack, or woven basket allows them to breathe and stay fresh for weeks. Keep them away from direct sunlight and separate from potatoes, as the gases potatoes emit speed up onion spoilage. If you've already cut an onion and want to save the rest, wrap it tightly in a dry paper towel, place it in a sealed container, and refrigerate it for only a day or two. Anything longer risks bacterial growth. It's worth noting that onions refrigerated for too long often emit a strong odor even before they spoil. That smell is a red flag. It signals that the onion's chemical balance is shifting and that it's no longer safe or nutritious. Your brain and body depend on antioxidants to fight inflammation and degeneration. Keeping onions fresh and chemical-free is a simple yet powerful way to protect your health. Now, tomatoes. Tomatoes are another food that should never be refrigerated, yet almost every household makes this mistake. The moment a tomato is chilled, the enzymes responsible for its flavor and aroma begin to degrade. Worse, cold temperatures destroy the antioxidants that protect your body from inflammation and disease, including lycopene, one of the most potent compounds known to reduce the risk of heart disease, cancer, and age-related cognitive decline. When a tomato's structure is damaged by cold, it releases water and loses firmness. The cell membranes rupture, causing the flesh to become mealy and dull. You might notice that refrigerated tomatoes taste bland or sour. That's not just poor flavor, it's chemical degradation. Research in food science shows that storing tomatoes below 50 degrees for more than 2 days can slash their antioxidant levels by half. For older adults, this means missing out on essential nutrients that support cognitive function and defend against oxidative stress, which is directly linked to dementia and cancer. Another risk is bacteria. Refrigerators often harbor condensation and micromoisture, especially near produce drawers. When tomatoes absorb this moisture through their delicate skin, it becomes a breeding ground for bacteria like listeria, which can cause serious infections in older adults with weakened immune systems. You might not see or smell the contamination, but even trace amounts of bacteria can harm your body over time. Tomatoes thrive at room temperature. Store them stem side up on a counter or in a paper bag, away from direct sunlight. If they ripen too quickly, keep them in a cool, not cold spot. This preserves their flavor and nutrients. Once cut, you can briefly store tomatoes in a sealed glass container for a day, but they should be eaten as soon as possible. Tomatoes are one of nature's best gifts for heart and brain health. Yet, refrigeration destroys their natural healing properties. The flavor that disappears isn't just taste. It's the loss of compounds that protect your memory, skin, and immune system. Every time you let a tomato ripen naturally on your counter, you're giving your body the full spectrum of its vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, just as nature intended. Then there's garlic. Garlic is celebrated for its ability to boost the immune system, lower blood pressure, and protect the heart. But what many don't realize is that refrigerating garlic alters its chemical makeup, turning one of nature's most potent medicines into a potential source of toxins. When garlic is exposed to cold, moist air for extended periods, it begins to sprout and develop a green core. This sprouting process generates sulfur compounds that can irritate the digestive system and, when cooked, form harmful byproducts linked to oxidative stress in the body. Cold temperatures also interfere with garlic's ability to produce allicin, the natural compound behind its antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-cancer properties. Once chilled, garlic's enzymes become inactive, meaning it may look fresh but is nutritionally weaker. You might notice that refrigerated garlic tastes sharper or more bitter. That bitterness signals chemical breakdown. Over time, consuming garlic in this state may contribute to chronic inflammation, a key pathway to cancer and dementia. Another concern is mold. Garlic cloves stored in the fridge are highly prone to absorbing excess moisture, creating an environment where Clostridium botulinum, the bacteria responsible for botulism, can thrive. Even if the garlic appears fine, invisible spores can form and release toxins that attack the nervous system. For older adults, especially those with compromised immunity, this risk is far more severe. So, how should garlic be stored? Keep it in a cool, dry, and well-ventilated area, like a hanging basket or an open bowl on your countertop. Avoid plastic bags or sealed containers that trap moisture. Garlic needs to breathe. When stored properly, whole bulbs can last for weeks or even months, retaining both flavor and health benefits. If you've already peeled or chopped garlic, you can store it in a tightly sealed glass jar with a thin layer of olive oil in the fridge, but only for a few days. The oil limits air exposure, but it's crucial to use it quickly to prevent bacterial growth. Garlic's power lies in its purity, its natural oils, enzymes, and antioxidants working in harmony. Refrigeration disrupts this balance, stripping away what makes garlic healing in the first place. Think of garlic as living medicine. It thrives at room temperature, not in cold storage. Storing it properly preserves its ability to fight inflammation, enhance brain health, and protect your heart. Something as simple as keeping garlic in a dry bowl on your counter can serve as one of your strongest defenses against illness. Finally, bread. Bread is a dietary staple in most homes, yet it's one of the most mismanaged foods when it comes to storage. Many refrigerate bread, assuming it stays fresher longer, but this habit quietly ruins both its quality and safety. Food scientists have found that refrigerating bread accelerates starch retrogradation, where starch molecules recrystallize, making the bread dry, hard, and nutrient-depleted. The bigger issue is that this process creates an ideal environment for mold and mycotoxins, substances linked to cancer, liver damage, and neurological decline. When bread absorbs moisture in a cold environment, it begins to sweat inside its packaging. This moisture feeds microscopic fungi, particularly Aspergillus and Penicillium species, which produce mycotoxins invisible to the naked eye. These toxins have been directly connected to brain inflammation and memory loss in older adults. You might think cutting off the moldy part makes the rest safe, but the toxins can spread far beyond what's visible. Every slice could contain trace amounts of harmful compounds that gradually build up in your body. Refrigerating bread also alters its chemical structure, weakening the natural fiber that supports digestion and blood sugar control. The starch molecules harden, forcing your digestive system to work harder, often leading to bloating, fatigue, and unstable glucose levels. For older adults managing diabetes or heart conditions, this can silently worsen inflammation and oxidative stress, key drivers of cancer and dementia. Instead of refrigerating, store bread in a cool, dry area at room temperature. Use a breathable bag, like paper or linen, rather than plastic, which traps humidity. If you've bought more bread than you can eat in a few days, freeze it in airtight portions. Freezing preserves freshness and prevents mold without altering the bread's structure. When ready to eat, toast, or gently warm the slices to restore their texture and flavor. Pay attention to the type of bread you buy, too. Highly processed white bread often contains preservatives that extend shelf life but can irritate the gut and spike blood sugar. Opt for whole grain or sourdough varieties, which are richer in natural fiber, probiotics, and nutrients that support heart and brain health. Bread has been a part of human history for thousands of years, long before refrigerators existed. Storing it naturally not only keeps it safer, but also honors its intended freshness and nourishment. Small habits like this make a significant difference over time. The foods we eat daily either heal or harm us, and something as simple as how you store your bread can tip the balance toward health or disease. Protect your mind and body by keeping bread out of the fridge and giving it the care it deserves. Final thoughts. As we wrap up, take a moment to consider how many of these 5 foods, potatoes, onions, tomatoes, garlic, and bread, are in your refrigerator right now. Most of us refrigerate them out of habit, believing we're preserving our health, when in reality, we may be doing the opposite. How you store your food impacts far more than freshness. It affects your body, brain, and long-term well-being. Cancer, dementia, and other chronic diseases don't develop overnight. They're the result of years of small, repeated choices, like how we cook, eat, and store our food. Every decision either strengthens or weakens your body. The good news is that you still have control. It's never too late to change your habits and protect yourself. By keeping these foods at room temperature, you preserve their nutrients, natural defenses, and the balance nature intended. You'll notice your meals taste better, your digestion improves, and your energy stabilizes. More importantly, you'll shield your brain and cells from the chemical stress caused by improper storage. These aren't complex medical procedures. They're simple, practical steps anyone can follow. For older adults, these small adjustments can make a remarkable difference in overall health. You've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now, it's time to care for yourself in the simplest, smartest ways possible. Thank you for joining us today. We'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment below and share one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it. Your thoughts inspire us, so don't hesitate to share. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us continue creating content to inform and inspire you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.